I'm pretty sure you all have watched a lot of UPSC motivational videos by UPSC aspirants, by UPSC toppers who share their study preparation tips, their success mantras, and this video is exactly the opposite of that. Hi, I'm Ishita Khanna and I failed the UPSC exam 3 times. And today I am a full-time YouTube creator. I have an audience of over 3 lakhs across social media and I absolutely love what I do, which is being in front of the camera and creating digital content for a living. I've worked with over 60 brands that I've aspired to work with, and I happened to achieve the first milestone of crossing the first 1 lakh subscribers of my channel just within a year of starting my YouTube journey. Now, I was not an overnight viral sensation. I did not have any friends or insights into this industry, and I also faced a lot of failures in my early 20s, the UPSC exam, of course, being one major factor. Now, there is a phenomenon called sunk cost fallacy, which basically means that a person on a course of action or with a strategy who has heavily invested in it continues to be on that strategy or course of action, even though abandoning it would be way more beneficial for them. Now, we all know of the UPSC preparation vicious cycle. You start off with your preparation, you give your first attempt, of course, and you may or may not be able to clear it, right? And that's okay, because this is your first attempt. So you go in for your second one, all geared up with all your information ready and ready to crack this exam. And God forbid, you are unable to clear it in your second attempt as well. So you go in for your third one, and then the fourth, and then the fifth. And this vicious cycle just continues until you suddenly realize that, hey, I've spent most of my 20s trying to crack this exam. I've alienated my passions, my hobbies, I have no friends, no social life. And just to be clear, I'm not discouraging you from giving this UPSC exam, hell no. Now, I'm in no way discouraging you from taking this UPSC exam. In fact, a lot of you might even be thinking, iska clear nahi hua, that's why she's saying this. And you are justified in thinking that, but the reason I'm standing here today sharing my story is because a lot of us who get into the UPSC preparation cycle don't know when to get out of it and tell ourselves, hey, I'm capable of so much more than just this, and more often than not, it's usually because of the sunk cost fallacy. Now, I spent 3.5 years of my life preparing for an exam that was nowhere close to testing what my creative potential really was, and I probably would have continued to, sort of keep investing my time in it had it not been for my itch to be financially independent. I was, I think, 25 at the time when I was preparing for UPSC, and it suddenly hit me that I'm still dependent on my parents for money, who, by the way, have been totally supportive of me financially and emotionally with whatever I wanted to do. But that's just not how I imagined my life at 25. So I started freelancing. I took up a lot of content writing gigs alongside my UPSC preparation. And one of these gigs happened to ask me to shoot a YouTube video for them, and so I did, and I absolutely loved it. It came so naturally to me. The whole process of ideating, scripting, storyboarding, directing, filmmaking, editing, yeah, YouTube is not that simple. The product that you see in front of you as a video has a lot that goes on behind it. And my interests in creative filmmaking, directing, which back in the day during school I used to participate in a lot of inter-school IT competitions, were all like at the back of my head during my UPSC prep. I just not explored that area of my life. And when this happened, I just knew I had to start my YouTube channel, and like all destined ways, I started my YouTube channel. Now, it wasn't कि phone का camera उठाया, content shoot करा, upload कर दिया. Absolutely not. And I know that a lot of major creators today who are well established did start off their journey that way, but I wanted to treat it like a business, like a startup, and that's exactly what I did with a strategy. So I had a content bank for almost 3 months before I wanted to launch my channel. I ensured my production quality of my content was top-notch. I studied a lot of YouTube. I studied video optimization, SEO, keyword research, and a whole lot that goes behind putting that one video on the channel. So I did all of that and finally launched my channel. Now, when you start off YouTube in the beginning, it's not a lucrative job, of course. So I did take up a full-time job as a social media manager in a renowned media TV channel. And honestly, I had no work ex to even land that job for myself. The only reason I got it was because of my YouTube channel and how I'd grown it in a little span of time up to that point. And I continued doing that full-time job until the day I knew that I could take that plunge and make YouTube full-time. Now, running a YouTube channel is not that simple. There's a lot that goes behind the video that you finally see. It was a bit of a struggle since I didn't have any guidance or some mentor to help me through it. I did spend a lot of time ideating and strategizing the kind of content people want to watch. There was a lot of research that goes on, and you have to consume a lot of content to create that kind of content for people. It was kind of a struggle to balance a full-time job as well as running a channel alongside. But when my content started getting noticed and brands started approaching me, I knew this was the time to take that plunge, trust myself, and turn this into a full-time job. And the first brand sponsorship or the collaboration was about 4 months into starting my channel. And even though it wasn't a lot of money, honestly, it made me feel like I was on the right path. Today, I have an audience of over 3 lakhs across social media. I've worked with over 60 brands. I've created over 200 videos, and I'm proudly financially independent. The reason I'm here today sharing my story with you guys is because I've been that person sitting inside a tiny room in old Rajendra Nagar all day long on my study table, studying Lakshmikant over and over again and feeling stuck. And if you are in the same boat as I am, you've got to trust yourself and take that plunge. Just like I am able to be what I am today because I let my failures not define me, but use them as gateways to explore my potential, my capabilities, and explore more opportunities. Just because you've invested, say, X amount of time in something does not mean you have to continue to do so. Learn to let your failures guide you towards what you're good at, what you could be good at, and don't let them define you.
படும்போது அந்த இடத்துல நமக்கு ஒரு வெறி.
That fear of the unknown is the strongest at this point.
ఎన్నో కష్టాలు మరెన్నో కన్నీళ్లు తినటానికి కూడా భోజనం లేని సందర్భాలు
এখানে পৌঁছতে চাইছি সেটার জন্য যে পথটা দিয়ে হাঁটছি সেটাকে কি আদৌ স্ট্রাগল বলা চলে?
मी अशी कंटाळून जाणाऱ्यातली नव्हते. एक बार मैंने डिसाइड कर ली तो मैं अपनी भी नहीं सुनती.
ಜೀವನದ ಸಿಚುವೇಶನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನೇನು ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ಸ್ ಬರುತ್ತೋ ನನ್ನ ಜೀವನದ ಕಥೆ ಮೂಲಕ ਆਨਸਰ ਮਾੜਾਣਾ ಅಂತ
ਇਹਦੇ ਚੈਨਲ ਦੇ ਉੱਪਰ ਇਹੋ ਜਿਹੇ ਇਨਸਾਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਆਉਣਾ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਜ਼ੀਰੋ ਤੋਂ ਚੱਲ ਕੇ ਆਪਦਾ ऊपर तक पहुंचे।
दोस्तों, जिंदगी में आपको कोई जगह नहीं देता है, आपको अपनी जगह खुद बनानी पड़ती है।
Most important thing is that Josh is coming.
Josh Talks is now a Spotify exclusive podcast. The audio version of our talks will be available only on Spotify. If you like this video and you like to listen to more inspiring stories like this,
अगर आप इस टॉक के एंड तक पहुंच चुके हैं तो मैं आपको जोश टॉक्स का एक दूसरा रूप भी दिखाना चाहता हूं, जिससे मैं काफ़ी देर से जुड़ा हुआ हूं और मुझे बहुत बहुत ज़्यादा पसंद है कि वो क्या कर रहे हैं। जोश टॉक्स ने एक नया ऐप लॉन्च किया है जिसका नाम है जोश स्किल्स। अब वो नया नहीं रहा, काफ़ी टाइम से है, लाखों लोग उसको अब यूज़ करते हैं। और जोश स्किल्स पे आप अपनी ज़िंदगी के लिए कोर्सेज ढूंढ सकते हैं। वो कोर्स नहीं जो आपको फिजिक्स, केमिस्ट्री, कॉमर्स, बिजनेस स्टडीज पढ़ाएंगे, वो कोर्सेज जो आपकी जिंदगी में आपको कैसे जीना चाहिए वो सिखाएंगे। मैंने खुद जो स्किल्स पे बहुत सारे कोर्सेज बनाए हैं, पब्लिक स्पीकिंग पे, इमोशनल क्राइसिस कैसे हैंडल किया जाए, अपनी पर्सनालिटी कैसे डेवलप की जाए। हर एक कोर्स में डेली क्विजेज हैं, एक्सरसाइजेज हैं, एक बहुत ही खूबसूरत कम्युनिटी है जो आपको सपोर्ट करेगी, आपको इनकरेज करेगी। आज ही डाउनलोड करें जोश स्किल्स का ऐप और उनके कोर्सेज एक्सप्लोर करके अपनी जिंदगी को आगे बढ़ाएं।